Hey everybody, thanks for tuning into my little video here. This is a kind of home experiment, I guess you could call it. Sitting in the parking lot of my job. I was sitting in my truck. Um, Usually sit in here and listen to podcasts and stuff, but I figured I'd make a video trying to grow a minoxidil beard. So I'm 38 years old. I'll be 39 actually next week. I've been able to basically grow what you see this, which is funny. Every time I look in the mirror, it reminds me of the Joe Dirt movie where the guy says, "Wow, you mean your facial hair came in all white trashy like that?" This is exactly the same pattern, if you can see, that I've had probably since I was about 20. No, I had a mustache. I was able to grow a mustache when I was like 13. And I've never had a problem growing a goatee. It comes in really thick when it actually grows in. But I've always wanted to have a beard, and I've never been able to grow one. Every time I do, as you can see, I'll get up close here for a second. You can see on my left side of my face, there's some. It does fill in, not super good. It does fill in here, eventually. But if you see on the right side, I'm missing a lot of hair here. Now the only thing I can chalk this up to, a lot of people say genetics and all that stuff, but actually I've consistently slept on this side of my face pretty much my whole life. And I'm fairly confident that has something to do with the reason that the hair isn't as thick over here, because I never sleep on the left side, and I always literally sleep like this, every night. And this has always got a pillow on it, which is why my wrinkles in my face, like basically my face is pretty much pushed like this every night. So that's why I think here. But this is about I think a little shy of 2 weeks of growth, and I've been using the minoxidil for pretty much, I think, that whole time. Maybe I didn't do it on the first or second day, but pretty much the whole time I've been doing this, I've been doing the minoxidil beard. I've also used minoxidil on my head. I do have, I am balding right here. So I basically look just like my dad. Now, my dad is able to grow this, not super thick, but my mom's, I know genetics play both part. I believe my grandfather, I don't really remember too much because he died when I was a teenager, but I don't ever remember seeing him with facial hair at all. So I'm not really sure how thick his beard is, or was rather. So I've kind of tried a lot of stuff, over the years. I've tried to let it grow in, and eventually I succumb to what most people do when they have patchy beards like this, is they just say, "I'll screw it," and usually I'll just go with the chin strap and leave this, and that's pretty much it. But this time I really wanted to grow something and just see. I've never had one my whole life, so I wanted to take the journey. And I've read a lot of success stories. Again, I used minoxidil on my head. I know that it worked. I kind of stopped. I used to take Propecia, do minoxidil, like the whole hair loss thing, which I still kind of do in a little bit, not as hardcore as I was, in my late 20s, early 30s. But I'm married and all that, and I know it's self-confidence, but I kind of gotten used to the buzzing of the head. But I got this new shampoo that actually, I've only been using it for about a week, and it hasn't regrown anything, but I definitely feel a difference. So I can make a separate video about that too. But anyway, so I've done the whole regrowth thing for a lot of different aspects. But I've never done the minoxidil thing. And I did have a beard that I tried to grow a full beard last year, either last year or the year before. And what I did to kind of make it look, and it did work, is I dyed it. I have a little gray hair, like right here, just, maybe like 5 or 10 or something, not like my whole face, my head, I have a little bit of gray hair, but I just remember when I was a kid, I used to dye my hair a lot. And I remember, as I used to have really long hair, so I would dye it all different colors and everything. But when I used to dye my hair, I always remembered that it made the hair thicker afterwards for a couple of days, because of the coloring and everything. So I figured that would help fill in, because when you were a kid, when I was like 14 and I wanted the good mustache, I would take a magic marker and color in any of the white hairs on my mustache to make it, look thicker and fuller. And that did work. So I figured hair dye would accomplish the same thing and just last for a longer period of time, because basically, since my facial hair is so dark, the darker it is, you know, it takes a lot longer to wash out. So I did that last year, and it did work. I got some beard dye, and I went over, you know, everything very gently as not to stain my face, because I didn't want to look like one of those people with a big brown stain here. Problem is, I got too dark. I got like dark brown, and I left it on there for like 20 minutes. So it basically turned my facial hair black, essentially, or just super dark brown. And it didn't really, I mean, it didn't look terrible because of my hair is so dark on top. It didn't look terrible, but I mean, you could definitely tell, you know, that I dyed it. So I figured I may try that again this year, but this time I'm going to get light brown and just leave it on for, you know, maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes, or whatever it is, just to kind of jumpstart it. Because it did work. I mean, it filled in, you know, you could see I have like after about a month, this pretty much all goes away. I have pretty good coverage right here, but it fills in pretty much everything, and it keeps it that way for quite a long time. But this time, so basically, I read a lot of good reviews. I've seen a lot of videos of the Minoxidil. I know I've had success with it on my head. So I figured, I'm like, what the hell, you know, I might as well give it a try. I had a bottle of or a can of Rogaine in my cabinet, so I figured, why not use it? So I started doing it. I do it twice a day. I do it once when I wake up in the morning after I wash my face. I put it on. I put it on here. You know, I foam, and then I rub it in, and then I foam this side and rub it in, and I let it dry. I don't usually put in any. I do have some like beard oil, but it's more like skin oil to help nourish the skin, because Rogaine does, you know, dry your skin out. I don't really have the itchiness or anything, which is kind of weird. I'm surprised my face doesn't really itch with the hair and the Rogaine on top of it. I figured it would itch a lot, but it actually doesn't. So I do that, and then before bed, usually about an hour before bed, I, you know, wash my face again if I take a shower, and then after I get out, I'll put it on, let it dry, and then I go to sleep, and I just, you know, repeat that cycle. So I've been doing that for almost 2 weeks now. I can't really say if I've noticed a difference yet, but again, it's only 2 weeks. I know it usually takes a month or so, and the funny part is I watch, like other people, I watch YouTube videos like this of people making videos, you know, about beards and stuff like that. And one of the key things, you know, that the guys with beards always say is you got to wait, you got to be patient. Even if you're not using any product, they say, you know, give your beard at least 3 months to see what you actually have. And I can tell you, you know, right away, you probably won't be able to pick it up on this video, but I mean, if I stick my finger right here, there's hair here. It doesn't look like it on the video. You might not be able to see it, but I can feel hair. Now, this wasn't here a week ago. So over time, I know hair has a different growth spurt. Like if I just shaved today, you know, clean shaven, I'd have nice smooth skin. And then tomorrow, you know, about 24 hours later, I'd have, you know, major stubble here basically, and under my neck. But this would take about a day or so to catch up. So I just was like, okay, well, this time I'm just not shaving at all. Now, I did make the mistake of shaving under here. As you can see, I watched a video where a guy said, if you want to grow a beard, you know, don't shave from here. Basically, you're kind of your Adam's apple up. Now, unfortunately, I didn't see that video until after I already had this, but I haven't shaved this in probably 4 or 5 days. So it's going to look kind of stupid for a while until it catches up, but I am letting my neck hair grow too. So that way, you know, maybe by next weekend when it's at least dark and you don't see my skin, then I'll shave it and kind of let it catch up to that. But I haven't shaved at all. I haven't trimmed. The only thing I shaved was you know, under here, my neck, but I haven't trimmed any of this. I haven't trimmed my lip, nothing. I just brush it out of the way, trying to train it already to get them, you know, the whiskers to go that way. So this is about, like I said, about 2 weeks, a little bit shy of 2 weeks, but I definitely feel the Rogaine, the Minoxidil. You know, I don't know if it's working, but I definitely feel its presence. Probably for about an hour after I put it on. in the morning and at night, I feel like a tingling or something in my cheeks. And then basically with the leftover, you know, when I'm done, after I do this, I use the same hand for both sides. So I spread it here, you know, let it on, and then I spread it over here, and then whatever's left over, I just put it on my head. I'm like, well, I'm already, you know, anyway, so I might as well just use it on my head. So yeah, I'm kind of excited. I hope that it works. I from a lot of videos that I've seen, usually takes you know, a couple of months to see any kind of significant growth. But I think to jumpstart it, probably what I will do is maybe this weekend, you know, after this, the hair's got to be a little long enough, because even when I look in the mirror, there are some white hairs, you know, here and down here and stuff. So if I can at least get those in, and I may just dye just this side and maybe like this, not necessarily, I don't know if I should do the whole thing, but it probably wouldn't match. I mean, it's going to be tough. I don't really want to dye this whole thing, just because I don't want it to be like natural here and then not here. But since I've only be coloring a few hairs, that you may not be able to tell the difference. But for now, I might just let it grow and see what happens. I've also never used any beard oil or anything, or balm. The last time I had facial hair, I think I let it grow for about 3 months last time, and it was pretty thick and full. But and this gets all straggly and everything, and I think that's another reason why it's good to have this hair, because as this starts to get long, it starts to come out and it just doesn't look right. I like the look of, I've seen a lot of guys with, you know, thick facial hair, but they put balm on it or oil, and it goes down and it goes into this nice V type pattern, you know, and under here and stuff. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. But you know, this is I guess you could call it a video journal of my journey using the Minoxidil. So I'm fairly confident. I also take you know, vitamins, and I'm doing the whole biotin thing. I mean, I take you know, biotin every day, and you know, it's not gonna hurt anything. I mean, you know, if it doesn't do anything, well, then I just wasted my money. But you know, it's not really going to hurt me. I'm also exercising. I'm kind of doing, it's really not the best plan in the world, because I'm trying to do a lot of things all at once. And I know that whenever you try to change your routine drastically, you know, you add a bunch of new stuff, the odds of success are actually much lower. And if you don't put one thing in at a time. But I recently, you know, within the last 3 weeks, just started going to the gym again. Like I said, I'm trying to eat a different diet now, plus doing the beard thing, like everything kind of all at once. But I'm fairly confident. Again, you know, when I really want something, I'm gonna try and do my best to achieve it, unless something, you know, gets in my way. Most of the time, it's my own mind. But I really feel confident that I will be able to. You know, I'm confident I'm not gonna shave at all. Like that, there's no problem. I believe I'm already past at least the super itchy part on the face, you know, the first week or two, when, you know, when it starts to grow in and you just want to scratch it, and it, you know, it looks bad, and it's just very itchy. I'm past that now. I'm gonna have to wait another week or two before I get past it with this, and this is usually the worst for me. Growing any kind of facial hair, you know, I don't normally, I've really never in my entire life, I've never grown in my neck facial hair at all. The only time it's ever grown in is if I haven't shaved in like a week or something. So this is going to be actually new for me. I've never grown my neck hair out before, because this is usually the thing that itches me the most, is the neck. So, but hopefully I'm going to order some of those beard balms. You know, I don't have enough hair to like style it. But I always, one thing I did notice the last time is that, you know, as you know, continuously training it, even when it's this short, if you just brush it the way you want it to go, even when it's this short, you know, down, because my facial hair on this side grows that kind of down and back, whereas this side it's more straight. And so every night, you know, you brush it, or twice a day, you know, brush it, and then it starts to train it automatically. This grows naturally sideways, which is kind of nice. And obviously both, my mustache actually just grows straight, so that's kind of nice. So I'm already trying to train that. Every time I put it on, I, you know, just brush it this way and this way, try to get it ready, train it as far, because it does get a little tough. But you can see my patchiness. One last shot, kind of get up close here. You can see neck again, no problem on the neck. Just right here, you know, coming in patchy again, missing some sideburn hair here, and then on this side, you know, this is the weak side. This is the side that really needs some help. But as I said, right here, I can feel hair all over the place. You maybe just can't see it, at least in the video. But yeah, you know, my face, I have good coverage. You can see right here, I have black hair here and here. So as this grows in, and then this fills in as well, so I should be good to go there. But thanks for watching. I'll update this probably once a week just to see where we're at. Thanks.